Hello, Leo and classmates. I'm Leo's grandfather, Peter Spataro, and I'd like to share my story of immigrating to America.
Mipa, my mother's father, came to America in 1954 when he was 7 years old. He was from Locri, Calabria, in southern Italy. He came with his mother, Olinda, four brothers, Henry, Aldo, Mario, and John, and one sister, Terry. His father and older brother, Joe, who were going to medical school, were already in America. They took a long boat ride that lasted more than 12 days, and since they were very poor, they stayed at the lowest level of the boat. But to him, it was exciting as he was young and on an adventure. He had never been anywhere before, and he was very curious.
I was a very inquisitive boy on the ship. I liked touching everything, wanting to know how things functioned, to the point that I broke some items in the stateroom. That's probably why I went into engineering as a profession, always having that curiosity. Little things that you remember, such as a guest on the ship offering me a Hershey bar and thinking it was the best thing ever. It was a rough 2 weeks in the Atlantic Ocean in November. Many of us became seasick, and to this day, the smell of bananas brings back that experience of upchucking.
Even today, he still gives my brothers and I Hershey bars whenever we see him. Finally, when they had arrived to the East Coast, they entered through New York City's Ellis Island. He marveled at seeing the Statue of Liberty and remembers how easy it was and how smooth his medical check was in his interview. They traveled to Connecticut, where his aunt and uncle lived. They were there as his family sponsor, and they were happy to welcome them inside of their home.
I was placed in Mount Carmel Catholic School, run by all nuns. I didn't speak a word of English when I started first grade, and thankfully, the patient nuns took that extra time after class to teach me my new language. I assimilated fairly quickly with classmates and neighborhood friends through playing sports. The town had many Polish and Italian immigrants that made it much easier. I had the best 8 years of grammar school, enjoying the 4 seasons of Connecticut, especially in the snow, playing street baseball with neighborhood kids, hunting with BB guns in the backwoods, great Sunday dinners at my aunt and uncle's farm that raised their own chicken, pigs, rabbits, fruits, and vegetables. I remember days going to Fenway Park to watch the Red Sox play. That's probably why I love baseball. Listening to the Dodgers games on radio being announced by Vin Scully in the early 1960s in California.
Years later, 2 of his brothers went to California and made living arrangements so the rest of the Spataro family could join. My grandfather has stayed in California ever since. He loves being close to the ocean as it reminds him of southern Italy, and he always shares how similar southern Italy and southern California are. He learned how to surf, which became his passion when he was younger. Also, he built a woody car, and he was very good with his hands. He worked at Standard Oil gas station and was a pool hustler. It was in a pool hall where he met my grandmother's brother. He soon met my grandmother at the dairy store where she worked in Los Angeles. They were both young but fell in love, got married, and had my uncle, Perry, and my mom. Being a hard worker and very resourceful, he put himself through Pasadena City College in electrical engineering. He worked hard and started his own business called Digital Services, which calibrates aerospace parts. Later, he tried to become a citizen but didn't need to as he was young enough when he came to America. Many immigrants from southern Italy immigrated to America because of lack of food, unemployment, and natural disasters and discrimination within their own people. But when Italians came to America, they were faced with even more discrimination and unemployment. Many Italians moved back to America, but not my grandfather. He never faced any of these things when he came to America. Over the years, some of his family have moved back to Italy to return to the beautiful country that they loved. They were so lucky that they could make life in both countries. All of my grandfather's siblings had children. So many Spataro cousins are in both America and Italy. It's been wonderful for our family to meet our cousins in Florence and Rome to understand their life and their culture.
Like I always say, that there's no place like the United States of America. I hope you enjoyed a bit of my history. And I'd like to close it by saying, enjoy your last few months at Mountain Town. Thank you.